The sun's gone dim and starts to light. As I walk and she
At 6:22 Greenwich Mean Time, chemical attacks were triggered across Europe.
I repeat, Downing Street is within a...
With the collapse of the oil embargo to force Iran into a confrontation over the Straits of Hormuz, the US and Israel are looking for another way to get the long-sought war with Iran started, and more to the point, need to make it look like Iran is starting hostilities in order to make it politically and more difficult for Russia and China to support Iran. Now, recall that Israel has a past history of attacking US warships and framing others to trick the US into attacks on Israel's enemies, with the Israeli attack on the USS Liberty, initially blamed on Egypt, as the most well-known example.
The attack on the Liberty went on for hour after hour after hour. During the entire attack, the USS Liberty continually called the Sixth Fleet that was nearby, begging for air support or rescue. 2 aircraft carriers in the Med responded by launching fighter aircraft. Unbelievably, they were recalled by the White House. Rear Admiral Geist, then commanding the carriers in the Sixth Fleet, called Washington personally to confirm the recall order. Secretary of Defense McNamara came on the line, and then President Johnson himself told Geist, "I want that goddamn ship going to the bottom. No help. Recall the wings." Imagine being Admiral Geist begging the president to allow you to defend an American ship that's under attack, and being told by him that he wants the ship going to the bottom.
So here we have the USS Enterprise, the oldest carrier in the fleet, on her last legs, scheduled to be decommissioned next year. Her name is well known in part because of the Star Trek TV series. Decommissioning a nuclear aircraft carrier is a very expensive process. USS Enterprise is powered by 8 nuclear reactors, all of which must be disposed of as nuclear waste material along with all the associated machinery. The US Navy would save a great deal of money, more than the scrap worth of the steel, if USS Enterprise were to be sunk in the Persian Gulf, where the radioactive mess is someone else's problem to deal with. So why send an ancient warship at the end of a useful life into harm's way? The same reason Franklin Roosevelt moved a bunch of obsolete warships from San Diego to Pearl Harbor, while their newer carriers and warships were well away from Hawaii on December the 7th, 1941. Israel has 3 Dolphin submarines, given to her by Germany. They have been seen transiting the Suez Canal in the past and could well be operating in the Gulf of Oman, even the Persian Gulf by now, lying in wait for a used-up and obsolete warship, more useful as a sacrificial lamb and an actual weapon, a ship with American sailors to be attacked as Israel attacked the USS Liberty, then to be blamed on the designated target, Iran, by a compliant media.
My daughter sees in you is a great mystery to me. Enjoy these naval exercises, Hopper. They're likely to be your last.
I'd like to welcome you all to the RIMPAC International Naval War Games.
Got an unknown surface contact, 8,000 yards.
Now, what we're hearing from the Israeli military is that it will reportedly be holding its biggest military drill ever with the United States. And what's important to note is that we're not talking here of only a military exercise. We're talking about the deployment of thousands of American troops into Israel. What we're hearing from both sides is that they will be testing various missile systems against rockets and against missiles. What we're hearing, though, from the Iranian officials is that they believe that this is the latest and most blatant sign that Israel is planning to attack Iran and attack it sometime soon.
Is this some kind of exercise?
Probably. They've created a barrier.
My radar's totally down.
They can't seem to penetrate it. They've created a barrier.
My radar's totally down.
They can't seem to penetrate it.
Now, this strait is critical because it's the only sea passage to the open ocean for exporting oil. Over 15 million barrels of oil passes through here every day. That's about a third of the world's oil shipments by sea.
Iranian media says the country's senior official has already said that Tehran could definitely close the vital oil transit route in the Strait of Hormuz because of the oil embargo. Today we're seeing stories, another American warship, a French warship, a British naval destroyer, all of them now heading into the Strait of Hormuz. If Iran goes ahead with the threat to shut down the waterway, what's next?
If it were to go ahead with that threat, I think that military, some sort of military strike would have to be in order. That would be too much of a provocation to go unnoticed.
Inside. What are your orders?
We're going in.
We're looking at a global extinction event.
It's your daughter. You know she gets everyone.